very welcome. God smiled on us yesterday with that weather, and I know He's speaking on behalf of every single member of Father Matthew Branch for Strevor when we say how honoured and absolutely privileged we were to host this year's convention. You have no idea the sense of pride that we had walking through the streets of our village yesterday. The amount of people that have come up to us individually yesterday, today, and I know over the next coming days and weeks, who said and described what happened yesterday as a spectacle, but they were emotional. That was the word that came across. The amount of people that were genuinely emotional about what happened yesterday. The weather was with us, the crowds was with us, and above all, the branches of every single branch of the Irish National Foresters was with us yesterday. So thank you on behalf of ourselves for turning out in such fantastic numbers. And that demonstrates the impact that the Irish National Foresters still has in communities today. So thank you for that. Now is the time to rebuild, now is the time to regrow, and now is the time to renew. So may I introduce our first speaker, our High Chief Ranger. Will you please welcome Rory White of Newry to lead us on today's proceedings. Mr. White.
Very much. Penny's well round of applause, I'm very disappointed. Fellow members of the Executive Council, brother and sister foresters, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. In 1887, 145 years ago this September, our noble organisation was established. One of our founders, Brother Joseph Hutchinson, wrote in the Freeman's Journal that the Irish National Foresters was founded to advance the cause of unity by uniting all Irish men and women at home and abroad through benevolence and nationality, regardless of where they toil or the altar at which they kneel. At the time of its formation, he called on Irish men of every grade of politics and every sect of religion and none to support us in our endeavours to establish in their native land a real Irish benefit society. He further stated that every country has its distinct benefit societies and it is only right that Ireland should have hers. Throughout our 145 years of history, the INF were to the fore at supporting most organisations that strive for Irish unity. And although we remain non-party political, we actively encouraged our members to seek elections at councils and parliaments alike to advance the Irish cause of reunification. Now, unfortunately, over the last 100 years, our organisation has seen a steady decline due to the establishment, firstly, of the partitionist border, and secondly, the establishment of national health services in Ireland, both north and south. However, this did not and will not stop our organisation, and today we continue to actively promote and encourage what we believe is the foundation of our great nation. Our nation, regardless of our political makeup, is a nation rich and steeped in culture. Our language, our Gaelic games, our dance and our music continue to unite people from all walks of life, and I'm particularly encouraged to see visitors and immigrants to our country actively become involved in our national pastimes. To judge or define a nation, we must look at how it treats the most vulnerable in society. And going by today's standards, I must admit it's not very encouraging. Poverty and homelessness are at record highs, with some 700,000 people in Ireland living with some form of poverty. Homelessness has also seen a significant increase, with over 9,800 people south of the border registered as homeless and over 8,500 north of the border. Is this how we wanted our nation defined? I think not. Our nation has a proud and noble history, and we as members of the Irish National Foresters must do all within our powers and influence within our communities to help those who are most vulnerable. A learned man once said that contrary to popular belief, government buildings and educational institutes are not the nerve centres of society. The true nerve centres of society are the streets that bear witness to the labour of liberty, and the streets that bear witness to the struggles of being treated as an equal member of the human family. So in conclusion, I invite you all to stand and raise a toast to the Irish nation. To the Irish nation. It has to be finished, but I was threatened before I got up here to say a special word of thanks to a certain man. That's our main man, brother Sean McMillan. I think Sean deserves a round of applause.
you, Brother White. I'd like to invite Brother Seamus McAteer, General Treasurer of the Irish National Foresters, to respond.
Gentlemen, distinguished guests, members of the Executive Council, for all the foresters, give me great pleasure to respond to Rory's. I think he must have copied mine. It's an honour today to hold a convention in the parish of Kilbrony, a place of scenic beauty compares nowhere else in Ireland. On a particular historic significance, the branch of Lurgan named Sir Charles Russell, although the man was born in Newry in Dominic Street, he was the Baron of Killowen. Before the Irish National Foresters movement began, Russell was a prominent Irish statesman and became the first Catholic to serve as a Lord Chief Justice. Strange in disposition, after his father, a local brewer in Rostrevor, had suffered greatly through the fact that he was a Catholic. Interestingly true that since our last gathering, another local person, a Newry lady, Siobhan Keegan, formerly O'Hagan, is now the Lord Chief Justice in the Northern jurisdiction. And our first honour and our first ruling was to clear the Ballymurphy 10 as victims, innocent victims of the Trouble. Home to Ben Dunn, Dana, our former president Mary McAleese, as well as Ferry Glen, the stone which we call Clockmore, and the old church bell of Rostrevor from 1900. Over the years, the village has become a strong base of Irish culture, Gaelic games, traditional music and dance, as well as the Irish language which thrives. While outside the Fuller's Green now takes place among the top country celebrations, and our convention was probably part of it. The depth goes back a long time and connects us to our proud people. We know about community and what it takes to care for others. This is the spirit of the Irish National Foresters. Unity, nationality and benevolence. We have come through the pandemic, but still lurks in the air. I thought we would have got it this morning. Rory knows why. My doors open to get breath of fresh air. However, it was quite a good meeting. Most of all, it's important that we support each other, both materially and spiritually, in the times ahead. In the years ahead too, we will think of the Irish that have gone from their identity in the modern world. Many have left our shores, and many have come to. Still, our confidence is found in each other and our extended family. We share in the values and the principles, our faith, our hope, and our love to sustain us. And that's why we are here today, to share stories among friends. And as we do so, remember all Irishmen, living and dead, and those that have gone before us, and those that have passed away from our last convention. And wishing health and wealth to the nation and to the Irish National Foresters. I'll finish with a quote of another Rostrevor man, only lent to him from Saville, Ben Sands. There is no time like the present. So as the present I offer to you, Erin Gobra, Gordon Morgan.
Thank you, Seamus. Our main speaker, who is our guest of honour, is someone who is genuinely beloved by all of us from Rostrevor. He has been an educator for more than 50 years. He is my past principal. For every man from Rostrevor, he was our former teacher and our former principal. He is gargantuan when it comes to Gaelic games. He is beyond passionate in his continuation in the belief that our games, our natural history, our language must continue and must be held up. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for Mr. Valerie Murphy, former principal and headmaster of St Mary's Boys Primary School.
still looking around to see where that person is. Thanks, Michael. Worthy House Chief Ranger, executive members, branch members, and invited guests. To Ahas Mór Oram Afe and Shaw Anocht, which means yes, indeed, I'm very happy to be here tonight. As I look around and see so many familiar faces, I realise that I am a friend amongst friends. When I look down to see Brian Keenan, I'm a bit doubtful about that. I see in those faces happy memories of past days. Tommy Collins, I still remember. Now, those people are proud Father Matthew Foresters. Many of us laboured in the same vineyard in St Mary's Boys' School, Rostavern. And looking back now, when the joyful times generally, not every day was joyful, but generally there were good times and innocent times. Speaking about memories, aren't we all neighbours' children anyway? May I share a few memories with you. I remember as a young fella going round the hall, that's the Father Matthew Hall, people call it Harmony Hill now. But I think they desecrate the name. The name should be called Father Matthew Hall, just off Water Street. It was way back in the late 40s or early 50s, and one particular day, I think it was after Second Mass on Sunday, and it was a sort of open day in the foresters where their premises were then, for recruiting foresters, especially young and female. That seemed to be the main agenda. Father Matthew Branch, you're way ahead of your times when you're promoting then, in late 40s and early 50s, the youth and female. Wouldn't it be a good idea to start again, looking for the youth and more female? I remember that day, and I remember two people in particular. It's a long time ago, and memories can play tricks. I remember Eddie Cooper, who lived there where the Tiboni Bar is now, and Patricia Cowan, who was from Drumcess, then she married Campbell, Patricia Campbell. They were the two people that I remember sitting at the table recruiting. I've just penciled even just today, about the Foresters' Ball in Rostavern, the weekly social event, the yearly social event. Strictly Trump dancing wouldn't hold a candle to it. It was the ball of the year. And the whole talk in Rostavern, this is pre-television times of course, was the ball, the Foresters' Ball. And I remember I used to have it down on the ground floor around the hall, and you wouldn't have been able to put a cat in it. But the talk of the day was the Foresters' Ball. And for a week or so afterwards, the whole question was, who took the ball? Not who stole the football, but who took the ball? In other words, who was the leading lady? A sort of a Miss World Rostavern style. Now, I don't know who's here tonight, it probably is Patsy Cunningham. Patsy lived round there at the time, and Seamus McNally here, your father lived beside it. Patsy would have some stories with your father. Who of my vintage can forget the evening the Rostavern Foresters Band paraded the Sembronas Rostavern football team through the village after winning the championship of the Mourns, the McSparran Cup. This was a few years before Down beat Galway in Wembley in 1959. Those were called the Wick Games at Wembley. And the other Rostavern people there that day, and I was privileged to be there, John Craxton, you all know, Sean Tilney, Leo Murphy, my old schoolmate, Lord of mercy on you, Leo, who was playing, and Brian Murphy from Rostavern, a brother Joe Murphy's, they were also there. I also remember as a youngster, and this is many years ago now, following the Orange Parade to the Orange Hall on the 12th of July, and it dispersing after the rendition of God Save the King. That's how long it is ago. This is only a stone's throw away from your premises in Bridge Street, and beside the former detention camp for German prisoners of war at the Fairley Glen gates. God, how times have changed. And I think there's a night up there for a nostalgia for the Foresters Club in Rossavary to have a night of nostalgia going back to the 50s, some of the 40s, because time does fly, as Canon Kearney said yesterday at Mass. There are a few thoughts I would like to share with you tonight, if you bear with me. As a GA person, I've often thought that our two organisations have an awful lot in common. The Foresters' motto of unity, nationality and benevolence could rest easily on any GA's shoulders. And generally speaking, many Foresters would be comfortable with their football boots or camogie sticks or hurling sticks at hand. I just can imagine Big Dan Doyle coming at me with a hurling stick. It would frighten me. On the other hand, many GA personnel would be comfortable at home with a Forester sash or collarette and marching behind the Father Matthew banner. A few words of praise to the Rossavary branch. Heartiest congratulations on the weekend's activity. The parade was brilliant, and as Michael says, it lifted a lot of hearts, including older people. It's a credit to you all under a strong leadership team. I know the Foresters do a lot of charitable work without any fuss, and you don't realise it, but you are at the forefront of the Green Energy campaign. Look at your beautiful and decorative premises with your Irish inscription. Great leadership and congratulations on your premises. To finish off, I want to thank you for your invitation tonight and to my godchild Vera. It's my pleasure and privilege to be here amongst friends. My message to you, Father Matthew members and other branches, is to keep up your good work. Be proud of your tradition and culture. Don't apologise for it. Hold your heads high. This is a message to Rossavary Foresters. You are a credit to our village, our parish, all of our parish, and to our community. Go Naggery and Boher live. May the road rise with you, and may the wind be on your back, as Father David used to say, as you march on to a bright and prosperous future. Congratulations. Maihu Nadina Ursula, Gornamila Miarov. Irish National Foresters toast. Irish National Foresters. May the long be successful. Thank you, mate. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Sister Joe McAteer, General Secretary, to respond.
It's nice to hear a lady's heels coming on up there. Worthy High Chief Ranger, fellow executive members, brother and sister foresters and guests. Adun Ursula, a bail Wailon Fáilte a Gariv and Cotton Shawnach, Ursan Creve and Tahar Mahu, August Executive Council, Gretorian History na Hearn. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the banquet 2022 on behalf of the Executive Council and Branch Father Matthew Rossavary. We hope you have all enjoyed this weekend here in the Mourns. It is indeed wonderful to be back after 3 years without convention. Thank you to our guest speaker, Val Murphy. He is indeed among friends when he joins us tonight. Your compliments to our society are very gracious. You speak of old memories and friendship, a sign of unity that exists among people involved in forestry, and our friendship with the GAA members and other organisations is world renowned. We have in common a lot: our love for our nation and our cultures. Many a friendship have been bonded in our social clubs and on the playing field. The love of our native language, our traditional music and dance, and our daily games of hurling and football bind us all together, and this is where lasting friendships and memories begin. Our motto of unity, nationality and benevolence is well upheld, and we are pleased to help those less fortunate than ourselves, and glad to do so. We extend an open hand of friendship to all. We regret the loss of young people who have left our shores to seek their fortune in far-off lands. But someday they will return and bring with them their newfound knowledge and share it with us. We are moving on in life, and Ireland is progressing in the 21st century. Our people and our cultures have earned their place on the world stage. The Irish National Forestry Society are proud of our people, our traditions and our cultures. We have earned the respect of all. Gurr mai agaibh.
Our next speaker to toast our guests and clergy is Sister Sheila Sloan, Chief Ranger of Strabber.
Hello, thank you folks. I really should have went first because this is going to be really short and sweet. Worthy High Chief Ranger, executive members, brothers and sister foresters and invited guests, it is an honour for me as the first female Chief Ranger of the Father Matthew branch to stand before you. We within our branch feel that we are in the process of renewal, regrowth and rebuilding, and are proud to say that we are one of the fastest growing branches, as you can see by the presence of our guests here tonight and the turnout at our parade yesterday. Our aims moving forward is to be more community involved and to give people a safe, welcoming haven, a place to be free to express ourselves without prejudice or scorn, to have self-worth and improve the lives of the people around us, and stand up for each other as previous generations of foresters did way back at the beginning. On to our first guest speaker. We at the Father Matthew branch extended an invitation to the President of Ireland, the esteemed Michael D. Higgins. But in his own words, due to the extent of my commitments, it is not possible for me to accept your invitation. But I send you my good wishes and thank you most sincerely for your kind invitation. So as he was unavailable, we went to the next most important man in the lives of some of our brothers here, Mr. Van Murphy. A true Irishman, a mentor and past headmaster in Strabber. Val is highly respected among his peers, and as a top GAA man, it is an honour to have him among us tonight. Finally, glad to know, Canon Kearney cannot be with us tonight, but I'm sure you will all agree that his celebration of the Mass yesterday was beyond expectations. He made our day very special, and I hope your day too. He went out of his way to research the history of the Irish National Foresters, so as he could feel part of it as well. And on his kind permission, we were able to take our flags into the chapel, an event which will go down in the history of Strabber. So, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, raise a glass and toast to the clergy and invited guests. Also, can I just add one person who's very, very important, just tiny thing, which is big in every other way. Can we raise a toast to my wee friend, sister-in-law and fellow sister, Lisa Sloan.
Thank you, Sister Sheila. Can I ask Brother Gary Bolton to respond, please, from Lurgan?
So I'll be glad to hear this is the last one and the last time I'll be up here. Some of you may even cut more for that.
Worthy Head Chief, members of the Executive Council, distinguished guests, fellow brothers and sisters, it's actually an honour to be standing up here tonight. It's my swan song, as a lot of you know. I've retired after today, but it was an honour yesterday walking through the town. It was absolutely magnificent to see what the Fosters is all about, and have thousands of people in the street clapping and applauding the whole way through, and it's an absolute credit to these people here and the whole of Rostrevor who have put so much work in throughout the year to do that. So give them a round of applause first. I'll also take this opportunity to thank Kathleen there, there's Seamus, there is obviously my head chief there, and all the people that I have served with through the time as on the Executive Council. It was absolutely an honour for me to have served. I actually done 9 years in the Executive Council, 3 as trustee and 5 as assistant chief ranger. And I can honestly say every one of them days was a pleasure. And by the way, because I've retired, I'm always on the end of the phone. If any fellow brother or sister needs a hand, or any branch needs a hand, just lift the phone and I'll be there to help you out. Fair play at Belfast, when I was here, you've got the convention for next year, so maybe our High Chief Ranger here will turn up this year and go to the City Hall. What's he What are you going around for? I see you're a good wife there. She give you a wee bit of advice on it, she's a solicitor. Only if there's no flags, there's plenty of flags that day, but they're all green, white and gold. So just in that, if you want to disclose, I have to thank the clergy. The clergy, obviously, we have a good rapport with the clergy, and a lot of our branches are named after priests. So the wee priest was brilliant yesterday, and they're a big part of the community. So if you just want to lift your glasses there again for one last time to the clergy, thank you very much.
Before we bring proceedings to an official close where you can enjoy yourselves and have a couple of drinks, I've 2 people I'd like to mention. I've been asked for this by every single member of Father Matthew Branch, and that is to Sister Sheila Sloan and to Sister Lisa Sloan. You have no idea the work that these 2 women put into it. Like the rest has helped, but my God, they are really. Please stand and quite rightly take your ovation. And I also offer our sincere thanks to every branch that turned out, to the bands, to Colin Classgale, Caston Rury, to Mr. Murphy. Sorry, sir, I can't call you by your Christian name. You're Mr. Murphy to me, to the day I die. To everybody that helped in any way, to the staff of the Whistle down here, as well as Lorraine Matthews, who was playing the harp and sang for us so lovely as we arrived here this evening. So to conclude, I'm going to ask Brother Brian Keenan to finish us off with a rendition of God Save Ireland, and may God save Ireland.
Folks, we've been 3 hours this year. 3 months ago I said I'd do this here, but I think it'll be 20 gins in me when I say it. You don't know me booklet there, you know the song, so you can all give me a hand anyway, we're right. So. High upon the gallant tree swung the noble hearted tree, by the first lieutenant striking through the blue. But they met the face to face with the courage of their race, and their souls wanted their doom. God save Ireland, save the heroes. God save Ireland, save them all. Whether on the scaffold high or the battlefield we die, no matter when for Ireland dear we fall. Great around the crew of foes, sure a chorus proudly rose, for the thoughts and hearts and love are near. On the millions true and brave, our ocean swim wave, and the friends in Holy Ireland ever dear. God save Ireland's dead heroes, God save Ireland's dead heroes. Whether on the scaffold high, or the battlefield we die, no matter when for Ireland dear we fall. Climb they up the rugged stairs, for their voices in our prayers, then we find this fatal chord above the cast. Close beside the gallows trees, kiss like brothers lovingly, through the home and fatal freedom to the last. God save Ireland's dead heroes, God save Ireland's dead heroes. Whether on the scaffold high, or the battlefield we die, no matter when for Ireland dear we fall. This is the one here now. Till the latest day shall we memory pass away of those gallant lives given for our lands. And on the cause must go amidst joys and wears and woe, till they make our eyes nations free and grand. Heroes,